The DJI Power 2000 and the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max are two nearly identical power stations from two nearly identical companies. Sort of. EcoFlow was actually created by two ex-DJI employees, and you can kind of tell. The Delta 2 Max has been out for a while now, and it's kind of the industry standard for a 2 kilowatt-hour power station, while the DJI Power 2000 was only released earlier this year. So today, we're going to compare the specs and performance to see which one is functionally better, and then compare that to the price to help you guys decide if you should buy
this or that, or that, this or that, this or that. This or that.
So welcome back to the lab where our opinions cannot be bought. As always, we will have links in the description down below, as well as any coupon codes that we can get out of both EcoFlow and DJI in case you guys are interested in these units. We will also leave our power station quiz in case you aren't exactly sure what power station you need. Very simple quiz, recommends a unit to you based on your needs that we would actually recommend. Anyways, let's throw these guys in a ring and see who comes out on top. Straight out of the gate, both of these power stations have a 2048 watt-hour lithium-iron phosphate battery, so it's a quick tie to start things off. When it comes to output, EcoFlow has a 2400 watt inverter. DJI has a 3000 watt inverter. EcoFlow claims theirs is higher with the X-Boost, but we all know that X-Boost is not all it's cracked up to be. So 600 watts is enough to run a whole appliance within your home, so DJI is going to take this point. In terms of surging, neither one of these really surged better than the other. They're both kind of mid, so we're just going to leave that one at a tie. DJI absolutely wipes the floor with EcoFlow though when it comes to solar input. EcoFlow has a 1000 watt solar input, which is about half the battery size. DJI has an 1800 watt solar input, which means you could charge this thing from 0 to full with solar in just over an hour. So that's another easy point for DJI. DJI does need an adapter, which we will get into, but regardless, huge advantage when it comes to solar. Another tie when it comes to AC charging, both have standard 1800 watt charging capabilities, nothing crazy, but DJI is significantly quieter when it comes to the sound test. DJI makes almost no noise, which is great because it's meant for creators. You could be running it in the corner of the room that you're filming in and you won't hear anything. It's a really quiet unit. EcoFlow is not terrible, but it just has a little bit more of an older, dated kind of computer fan sounding.
Sounds like your kitty when you pet it.
Shut the fuck up. So DJI takes another point for sound. In terms of functionality, starting with the plugs and the ports on these guys, EcoFlow has 4 USB-A's and 2 USB-C's. They have 6 regular 120 volt wall outlets. It also has 2 barrel connectors and a 12 volt car socket. DJI has 4 USB-A's, 4 USB-C's, 3 120 volt wall plugs, as well as a 30 amp, which isn't a true 30 amp, it's actually only a 25 amp plug, and then 2 SDC ports, which you have to buy accessories to use those SDC ports for anything else. So you could use those to use solar charging, to fast charge drones, expansion batteries, 12 volt car socket could plug into there, but all of those are additional accessories that you need to use those ports for. EcoFlow doesn't need anything, so initially we're leaning towards EcoFlow, and in terms of the screen, both are fine. DJI's is a little bit newer, it's a little bit crisper, but they both just do the same thing. They tell you the information you need to know. Functionality point overall, we're gonna give to EcoFlow because you don't need additional adapters and there's more plugs and ports directly on the unit. In terms of look and feel, obviously this one's up for debate. Everyone has their own opinions, but we think that the Delta 2 just looks a little bit older. It is a little bit older, but it kind of just has that Game Boy look to it. It's still a little bit more primitive in terms of power stations. The plastics are fine, everything feels good. DJI is just a little bit more sleek, more modern looking. It looks a little bit better inside of your home. So we're gonna give that point to DJI. In terms of portability, basically the same thing. Handles are in the same spot, they're relatively the same size and weight. DJI does have an overpriced cart that you can buy. It is cool, if you get expansion batteries, you can screw them in so they don't tip off of the cart. Everything's locked down, but again, that's an accessory that you have to pay extra for, so we're just gonna give these guys a straight up tie because they're very much the same thing. In terms of scaling your system with these units, DJI lets you add, I think, 10 expansion batteries to one power station, getting you a total of over 22 kilowatt hours of storage. I don't know who's gonna go that crazy on a single power station setup, but you have the ability to. EcoFlow, you can only do 1 or 2 batteries. It's a 6 kilowatt hour max setup. So DJI takes this point, they can go crazy with their expansion batteries. In terms of customer support and aftercare, when you spend your hard-earned money on these products and you have a problem, you try to reach out and get some help. They're both not that great, to be honest. We've mystery shopped EcoFlow on the channel before and they needed a lot of work. DJI doesn't have very easy information to find, and once you find it, it's not the easiest thing, whether you're on chat or email or whatever it is, to kind of get the answer you're looking for. I've had multiple just explaining myself situations to them, so regardless, they're both mid, so tie. And finishing this up with my rants and requirements, DJI does not have a light or a 12-volt car socket. EcoFlow has no light, but it does have a 12-volt car socket, and for that simple reason of not needing to use one of my only 2 expansion ports on the DJI just to convert it into a 12-volt car socket, we're gonna give this point to EcoFlow. A 12-volt car socket may seem like a small thing, but if you take this camping or wanna run a little fridge off of it, a 12-volt car socket is how most of them plug in, so you're basically eliminating the ability to run a DC fridge off the DJI without an adapter. And when it comes to the price for the final point, the DJI costs $969 and EcoFlow is $949. $20 difference. It really doesn't make that big a deal. But even though 20 bucks isn't that much, like we've been saying, if you want to charge your DJI with solar, that's a $100 adapter. If you want to run a 12-volt car socket, that's an adapter. If you want to do a ton of stuff with this DJI, it's all about paying more money for adapters. The EcoFlow comes with all the plugs and ports that you want in it. So we're gonna give that point to EcoFlow. And stepping back and taking a look, at the end of the day, the points say barely the DJI is the winner. And we can't deny that the DJI is a really good unit. It does have a 30 amp socket, it's very quiet, and it performs really well. But if we had to recommend a power station to you guys or to a friend, we would recommend the EcoFlow all day. It just, you don't need extra adapters. You don't need to spend more money than you already spent on the power station to get it to work. And there is limitations with the DJI because there's only 2 SDC ports. So if you want to charge with solar, then use a 12-volt car socket, you can't do anything else because you've used your 2 adapter ports. You can't fast charge your drone or have an expansion battery plugged in or anything like that. So in our opinion, the EcoFlow is the better buy. If you're a creative and you need a very quiet unit, or you already own DJI products and you're able to just plug them right in, fast charge them, you want something familiar, that's a great unit. We just recommend the EcoFlow to the vast majority of people. If you guys still don't know which unit is best for you, take the quiz in the description down below. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. That is the freest, easiest way to support the channel. That is all we got for you guys. I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out and stay charged.